Hello, it's time for Destiny. Welcome back to Erico Blueberry. It's an unassuming Destiny podcast. My name is chillybin.
I'm Meckii.
Hell yes, we're back at it. Again, we missed last week. Health and stuff in it. Also, we
My
don't.
kidney stopped working.
Also, we don't get paid for this. So fuck. What is a schedule even? I have had after work beers. And then I came home and I smashed a bunch of Thai food. And then I sat down here. In the office this week, we had supplied. You know how Asahi comes in the 500ml cans? The big boys?
Oh, yes.
I think I had 4 of those.
You had a chug jug of Asahi.
Yeah, 4 of them. So like 2 liters of beer and this is a weird reflection of where I work. We played Magic the Gathering from 3 p.m. and then sat on the rooftop and I finished my beer and then I went home. Fridays are pretty chill.
I need to get into your industry.
No, you need to get into this specific workplace. Nowhere else I've worked would be cool with me mostly spending today playing Mario Kart Pool and Magic the Gathering. It's been pretty sick. I'm not going to say anything else about where I work. Let's talk about Destiny.
Dootney.
Rootin' and dootin'.
Rootin' dootin'.
I've done a little bit of story this week. I did last week, so I was going to say yesterday's.
I have 2.
Yeah. The orbs and the jars and the stuff, it's real weird. I feel like I've been paying attention to the lore stuff as it's come out, but I also don't feel like I understand what's happening. There was a whole cutscene last week about like Nezarec or Nezarec. How do you spell it? Nezarec. And it seems like we're collecting pieces of a tomb, like it's Horcruxes and it's Voldemort. What is happening?
Yeah. So, Mithrax's mum did big no-no, and she chopped up Nezarec.
Oh.
His fleshy bits. They found him in the lunar pyramid.
Period?
So he's the disciple of the lunar pyramid, which I think everyone knew / suspected.
Right.
And her group of people, her house, found him when Mithrax was little and chippy choppied up, and then started using the darkness / Nezarec's curse, I guess, his sin. And yeah, and then just did a whole bunch of really terrible stuff, and then Mithrax inherited the chippy choppy bit, the fun little piece of corpse just hanging out.
Yeah.
And then he did some naughty things, and then he said, "Wowee, this is scary. Time to get rid of it." And then they put Nezarec in jars like an MLP figure and sent it into space. I've been referring to it in the server as Nezarec Jam.
Yeah.
Or Nezarec Pickles.
What I want to do is just cut that entire section out of this video when you explained the lore of Nezarec and then put that up. Fucking Bife, eat your heart out. This is how lore gets done around here. Short and to the point.
Destiny lore through the eyes of someone with severe ADHD.
Yeah. I feel like I understand it better. Maybe I have ADHD.
Lore according to Pigeon Brain.
Yeah.
So that was
That's
pretty
helpful.
neat. And then they found out that the Lucent Hive are also trying to find the jars. So they're like, "Ooh, is this Savathun? Was this pre-planned by Sava? Or is Umaru trying to get shit together so he can get Savathun back, maybe?"
Right.
Because there was some animosity between Rolk and Savathun. Like, that's been established. They more or less hated each other.
Yeah.
So I'm wondering how Nezarec comes into this. Like,
just shit staring from the sidelines, probably.
Well, it's the Witness and Savathun have manipulated things to lead up to these moments. So it's like, was this pre-planned by Savathun before she got ganked? Or like, is this Umaru trying to get the power of Nezarec to
what is the power of Nezarec? I don't.
Just darkness, according
Okay.
to Jermaine. To our mate Jermaine.
Jermaine. I haven't got to that story beat yet, so I don't know how that gets brought up, but no way is that man's name Jermaine.
I'm hoping Eris just drops it in combo.
Like, telling him off, like, Jermaine, just like dead eyes him. Just no.
Oh, no, actually, you know who's petty enough to do that? Mara. Mara would IRL name someone over their gamer tag on a server just to like prove a point.
That's what it is. Dredging who? Tell me about Jermaine. Try dredging these nuts.
The other thing was the jars and Nezarec's power.
The jorts?
The jorts. Nezarec's jorts. Watch them first. They're real gross.
You gotta wash the sin out of them.
Yeah, boy.
Nezarec's Jinko jeans.
They got E3 crust on them. So they said that it could be used for good. Because, like, we figured out that darkness isn't inherently evil.
Sure.
But the whole point of contention at the moment, and I think it's a spider doing a lot of gaslighting too, is just being like, oh, they could be used for good, but Misrax might go back to his old ways. Yeah. You can't trust him, Ido. He's a sussy baka.
You saw what happened.
He's a little bit sus.
Daddy sus.
Amogus. And then also another exciting point of lore I found out this week was Aramis had a girlfriend.
I missed that.
Aramis had a girlfriend. She was in a same-sex relationship and raised a bunch of Elixir hatchlings with her girlfriend. And then when shit hit the fan, she sent her kids and her girlfriend to a different planet to be safe.
Man.
So I just put Aramis had a girlfriend ? Queer icon.
Yeah. Queen shit. That's sick. I totally missed that.
But they've kind of established early on in the lore that, like, I guess, like, Elixir, like, what is my sexuality called again? Pansexual. Wow. Forgot my own sexuality. Elixir are more or less like pansexual. Like, there is no... They're just like, hey, yo.
Yeah, I'm down to bone. Let's...
You want to raise some hatchlings together?
I'm down to fuck around and find out, if you know what I'm saying. Pew, pew, pew. I know what that was.
So, that was my lore recap as I remember it. I also did most of the lore at like 1 o'clock in the morning because I couldn't sleep, so I might be wrong. I might have hallucinated all of this.
You remember more than I do, so it's now canon.
All I remember is Nezarec jam.
Eat it on toast.
Oh man, I should make a blackberry jam and then call it Nezarec jam and gift it to all my homies.
Yeah. But put a little something in there that you forget about and later regret. And that can be Nezarec sin.
Ghost pepper flakes.
I was thinking shards of glass, but yeah, that's probably better.
There's a whole fingernail in the bottom of it.
Like a sweet berry jam, and then there's just like ghost pepper in there randomly. Actual hell. No thank you. Yeah. I just want to put this nice sweet spread on my toast and have a nice little breakfast. Next minute, I'm bleeding out of my anus.
I make a thing every year for work, that reminds me, that I get asked to make, and they're trick-or-treat cupcakes. So I make all the cupcakes look exactly Russian the same. And some of them have like a creme de
Sorry,
leche.
for you, it would just be roulette.
Yeah, it'd be like, stop appropriating my culture.
Oh, you want to play roulette? Pulls that gun.
It's roulette, murder, or suicide. And some of them, they all have the same filling, but some of them have chili flakes in them. When I make them for work, I don't make them like blow your head off spicy.
What's the percentage of like safe to unsafe? Like, Is it 1 in 6 or
baby.
is it 50-50?
It's 50-50, baby. I don't like my employees. I don't like my coworkers.
That's very good.
The ones I do like, I tell them exactly where the chili cupcakes
Yeah,
are.
you tell them like, hey, odd numbers this year.
Yeah, pretty much. Or as I'm like shuffling them like cards, they'll come over and get one and I'll be like, this one is safe.
This one is for you. Yes. Good.
I also mark the bottom of the tins, but I don't tell anyone that, so no one's ever thought to look at the bottom of the cupcake pans.
Maybe if they watch this show, they'll learn.
Oh, they won't. They all hate me and I hate them.
All right, well, if any of Meckie's coworkers are watching, fuck off.
I don't help them.
They don't know me.
They see another bit of
Imagine if
singing to myself.
Imagine if the algorithm somehow surfaced this episode to them, and in the, like, I don't know, what, 20 minutes into it, I've just flipped them off. Oh well, I don't care. I don't know them. Anyway, the video game Destiny 2, Nezarec's Jam. Oh, I mean, we'll get some resolution to the storyline. We still got a few weeks left.
I think we'll just get all the bits of Nezarec, and I think that might be. And
then we slam them together like Voltron, and then a big mech appears.
Exodia, but gross.
Yes, it's Exodia, but it's covered in jam.
Damp Exodia. Like when Emotep comes out of the sarcophagus in Destiny.
Yes.
And he's kind of damp. That's how I picture Nezarec's return.
Just a bit damp, a bit spiky. I don't know. Hope for the best. Destiny shit.
Don't even know what race he is yet, so.
Yeah.
Species.
It's been hard to.
Well, people have tried from the cutscene, people have tried to figure it out because they're like, well, he's got too many fingers to be Hive. And his hands and shoulders in that little drawing are a completely different shape from Rolk. So and then they talk about Rolk being the last of his kind anyway.
From what, Lubre?
Gonna say more or less genocided them all.
Yes, he super did.
And his shape in the drawings don't match anything that we know of so far. Yeah. So it might be another Rolk situation where the witness kind of drives him to.
Yeah, I wonder if that is the pattern of the witness, like pick the best or the most exploitable of a particular species, get them to destroy all other traces of their kind, elevate them out into some other situation.
Is he going to try and do that with the Elixir?
Or us, the Guardian, who is often held up as this pinnacle of our kind. The God Slayer, all of these different epithets we get. Is that where this is headed? We're ultimately rejecting world-ending power.
We're about to be corrupted.
Or they're about to try, and we're going to be
we're about to be Norded.
No.
The witness is about to Nord us. You Norder boy.
Destinaut. Destinaut Newt. I hate this.
We meet a new Guardian and his name is just a reshuffling of witness with an X in it.
I'm trying to do that math in my head and I can't make it anything funny. It's just annoying. 6 tweet. I don't know. There's something there. It's close.
No, it's interesting. It's starting to get interesting, especially now that they're bringing Nezarec back in. I'm like, oh, yeah.
I don't
because he's always like Savathun. He's always just been this name.
I don't know anything about Nezarec other than the fact that there's an exotic item called Nezarec Sin.
Yeah.
Who the fuck is this fool? Why does he matter all of a sudden?
Whose mans?
Whose mans is this? Why is this man's in the jars? How did he... Peaches come from a man, but that man came from many jars strewn across the universe. How did any of this come to pass?
I like how originally you kind of went like little Charlie Day there. You're like, this is man's.
Why is this man's in the jars? I
Yeah.
don't know. I need to look at lore. I need to watch videos again. It's been a while since I've gone on like a Destiny lore video binge because I've just been trying to keep up myself in the game. But now I feel like I'm behind.
I am a Bife fan,
Mm.
and I always will because he, D1 days and then getting me up to date when I first started playing with you guys.
Yep.
But I've been really into watching all of Myelin Games stuff.
Yeah, okay.
Because I find his is week of.
Sure.
And he's really good at like connecting the lore and then drawing in threads from lore books, and
right. So
he's really good at that, and he does it really quick.
Yeah, so like the seasonal stuff that drops this week, he'll connect all the dots to other stuff that's out there. Whereas I feel like Bife is more of
and
that.
his community helps him research as well, which is probably how he gets to churn them out so quickly. And he's another Aussie, so
correct. Whereas I feel like Bife stuff is like something will hit in the game. It might take a week or two, but the video that he puts out will be like this really good summary of what happened, but also all the stuff that led up to it.
Yeah.
I feel like
in a more cinematic way, whereas Myelin's like, here's the facts, here's what we know, here's what we're theorizing, here's what the community have told me, here's what we've discussed.
Yeah, I feel like that's closer to what I need because like I'm trying to keep up to date with the game as it updates every week. But what I'm kind of missing is that context of the stuff that's coming out with the weekly story in this season. I don't have a lot of the context that it seems like they're trying to connect it to.
Yeah.
Which I would like. But I don't know where it came from. Somebody will watch some videos. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to do homework. But not this week.
Why do that when I can tell you all the lore? Whoever did was a man.
Yeah, you give me like the super condensed version of it that I still have to ask a lot of questions about. Because I don't know if I can trust it.
I do get the moon and the Cosmodrome mixed up a lot.
I mean, they are right next to each other.
Yeah, but like Scarlet Keep doesn't look anything like anything on the Cosmodrome.
No, you're right. It doesn't. Yeah, I can't defend that. I was trying to think of a way where I'm like, oh yeah, no, that's goofy. Figure it out.
It's like playing the other day with one of the boys and me having a moment and then them going, how are you still good at this game?
Because you play a role that it seems like no one else in the team does. And so you're able to be effective because no one has come to steal your spot.
Heals and Kamikaze Warlock.
Pretty much. Like, hey, well default or like rifts and shit all over the place. Like, yeah, Meckii will do that.
You like orbs? I'm here to make some orbs.
I do like orbs. I really like orbs. What was that? I shared this screenshot in the server the other day. I did a dungeon with a couple of the guys, and they each generated maybe 12 orbs across the entire thing.
You shit out like 200.
Yeah, I was at like 105, 110 because the way I'm running it's like all arc, harmonic siphon. So I'm just getting multi-kills with a shotgun and just shitting them out. And then like Thunderlord does a lot of damage in that regard as well. But they were just everywhere. It was the best. I just burnt my entire super. I'm just going to do a little lap and fill that up again. Cheers.
Yeah, that was like us in War Priest.
Mm.
Where I'd like not have my well up. And then I'd be like, I need orbs. And I'd just hear you go, there's orbs up here, Meckii.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, because I was jumping up there, activating the super into the spawn point and getting like an 8 kill just on the activation alone.
Okay, my well's back up, guys.
It was actually sick. But yeah, that's the week's story stuff, right? I haven't missed anything.
Pretty much, yeah. There's some big revelations, but nothing like we had in last season where we were like, oh,
yeah,
what?
Yeah.
It was kind of like I had my suspicions on the way they were talking, and then past lore books I'd read, and even stuff tied in from like late D1, early D2. I was like, I think that goop is Nezarec.
Yeah. There was a really cool article they put out like a day or two ago where, like Bungie that is, where they had interviewed a couple of like narrative designers about like how Season of the Haunted basically came to be, like where they got the ideas, where they were getting all the story stuff from. And they're like, yeah, there's all these ideas that we started with, like Presage, with the idea of nightmares and egregore, and they've kind of been drip feeding some of that stuff in. And then they're like, oh, what if all of these things are actually connected? And here's this bigger thing that it leads to. And they were just talking through some of how that like design process went. It was super fascinating. And like takes fucking ages from initial idea to the time that you actually see it in a season.
Yeah.
That stuff was so cool to read about. You don't hear from those folks as much as you do like, hey, I'm going to talk to you about weapons balancing and super systems and abilities and okay, yeah, neat. But I want to know how you get to an entire season about emotional trauma and like
emotional damage.
And like confronting it in a meaningful way, not just being like, hey, you want to get really sad for 8 weeks? I got you.
Yeah, like here's a way in a video game to confront some of the most detrimental and rawest emotions that you will experience as a human being.
Yeah.
Here is some grief. Here is some regret. And just a tasty little sprinkle of feeling of inadequacy.
Yeah, love it. All over that.
Dead wife, dead self, dead mentor husband.
Yeah. Yeah, real chill stuff.
Yeah, real good.
Yeah.
Real great. Didn't have multiple existential crises last season either.
No, not at all.
Nice. So glad for pirate shit.
Definitely haven't picked up some much lighter video games to play at the same time as a palate cleanser. No siree, not me. Couldn't be me.
Frankly, I'm sick of Destiny not taking this game seriously enough. Pirates?
I just want to shoot things. Oh, no, it's pirate time. You're going to go steal treasure.
Pirate time.
Whatever else is going on. It's such a chaotic season. I'm kind of in for it.
How has pirate time been going for you? Are you going chasing the Scallywag title?
I'm going about as well as I can be, I think. There's a couple of those triumphs that are going to be challenging for anyone, and Bungie is like addressing some of it, like the ruffians in particular. Like they're tweaking like how they spawn and how long they stick around for because it's going
to be a time sink to do that one.
Yeah, because they spawn in the second phase of Expedition. I think it's Expedition. Yeah. But what seems to be happening is players are able to get through that second phase so fast that by the time the ruffians spawn, they're basically clearing that phase, which causes them to despawn. So you're not able to even hit them once to clock them for the triumph.
I had a few times just people wiping the spawn. And like the thing I was getting annoyed about is like Drifter very clearly calls that one is coming.
Yeah.
And people are just like, they don't stop. They just keep going. And I'm like, oh my God, but
yeah.
the boy.
Yeah, so I think like...
Ooh, that wasp is back. Anyway.
I think there was a change that they announced that's this week or coming soon that is about them not despawning. I think that's what it said. But yeah, like they've done that a couple times already this season of like, hey, we put this seasonal challenge out, the requirement or like a weekly quest requirement, and like it was way too many of whatever it was. It was like kill 50 champions, and it was like no, I think it started as way more than that. Anyway, it was this huge number, and everyone was like, well, to do it without doing Master Catch Crash, I would have to do fucking 200 of them or something. So they brought that way back down.
Like, Nightfalls and...
Yeah, like all of those things probably have at most 6 champions per run or so. And like that's a shitty thing for like a weekly objective that gets dropped. And like, yes, you can argue that it doesn't have to be completed the week that it drops. Like it will keep ticking up once it's out. But it's also like, why is it even that high to begin with? It's not meaningful. And that's kind of the same thing with this ruffians triumph that's happening. Is like it's it's been so hard to get it to proc that we are, what, 4 or 5 weeks into the season? Might even be more. I honestly don't remember. But I've made fuck all progress on that triumph to get the seal, right? And like, you run out of time at a certain point because it's just this season. So yeah,
Yeah.
wouldn't be surprised if that gets brought down a bit in terms of the requirement, or if they make it easy enough to proc them in the first place that it can just like get there. But I'm feeling like I will get there without stressing too much. Like a lot of it, I'm still waiting on the weekly content drop to just keep things moving and get all the lore books and what have you. I think they're also putting out some changes to fix up some of the weapon drops so that you're able to drop the patterns for the seasonal weapons, because you need to drop 3 of the patterns.
Something about the first one for each week dropping with deep sight.
There's also been a bug where like you can unlock, through the what is it, the star chart, you can unlock one of those upgrades, like guarantees you a red drop per week, and that just hasn't been working. If you've, specced down the path to get that, it just hasn't done the thing it's supposed to do. So
amazing.
Yeah.
Oopie.
They're aware of those things, they're adjusting to it, but yeah, it does make it like a little bit stressful when you're doing all the things you think you're supposed to do for the challenge, for the triumph and the seal, and then the things don't work. And that was my problem with Iron Banner last season, because that all wings triumph requirement with Rift just was so counterintuitive to what the game mode actually asked you to do.
Yeah.
Like it forced you to play selfishly in a team-based objective mode. It's like, unless I'm running the Spark, this is not going to ever get there. Whereas like that 1 week we had with Eruption earlier in the season, I got more than halfway to getting the Iron Lord seal just in that 1 week. And I didn't even play that much.
Yeah.
It was actually just a lot easier to do it in Eruption than Rift, because the objectives are actually like, they're in line with the way the reward structure works there. Anyway, Scallywag's going all right.
Yeah. I'm in much the same boat. I think I managed to do a few more ruffians than you, just because I've been running expeditions just to get those summon first mates done and out of the way.
That's the other one.
Because it's 45.
Yeah, I'm annoyed about that one, because like, because there's some of those I think it's Catch Crash is one where you can just stand there and just constantly summon them in. I don't think it's supposed to do that, but that's what everyone seems to be doing. So I'm going to stand here, I'm going to shoot, and just continually press this button when I can to summon it, and like that'll just tick it up. But I don't.
That was us doing the master, where I was just standing there screaming. Yeah,
I don't think
scurvy,
you're supposed to be able to do that.
Scurvy.
Like, because every other one of those,
Scurvy has joined the fight. Scurvy has joined the fight.
But like when 6 players are doing that, it's dumb. But like every fucking other Catch Crash or expedition I've done, when that banner pops up, you can do it once, and then it's basically disabled until I guess they die or there's some despawn timer or something, and then you're able to like go and do it again. But it's not like the 2-second delay that it has in this one version of the thing.
It's kind of frustrating at times too, because other blueberries will race you to those banners and pop them before you, and it's like, come the fuck on.
Yes, for sure.
My turn next.
Yeah.
Me next.
Yeah, and so like that stuff always kind of annoys me. Like you always end up getting it done, but the fact that you're matchmaking into a 6-person activity, and that is essentially a race condition of who can get there first to proc this triumph up, it's just not like, it's not fun.
Yeah, I'm sure next season they'll realize, and it'll be one of those things where they're like, well, we won't fucking do that again, will we?
Or if it's like some of those things they've done before, where if someone in the team you're with does it, that counts for you, because that incentivizes people to, spec up those upgrades. But someone who's, gone and, played the game a lot and got ahead of a lot of people, and they have a lot of those available to them, they can help other people that way. Of like, well, I've only just started playing this season. You've been playing for 2 weeks already. You can summon these, I can't, but I'm going to benefit from being in a team with you.
Yeah.
Because at the moment it's like, well, if someone gets there first, I'm kind of just fucked. until it's late in the season and everyone's already done it, and then it's like, cool, now it's my turn. Like,
And then you're rushing to
it's
do
just
it.
not satisfying. Yeah, or you do the hard thing of like, I'm gonna try and get a private group together so that we don't match make, and then I can just be the one that gets it. And like, you still have to do what, 45 of them, so like, it's not gonna be a quick thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think I've got House 6 completed and I'm halfway through Scurvy and then I have to do the Skiff Blades.
Yeah, it's just so many.
So it's like beans.
But you
and then,
also have to upgrade all those things to get to first mate level, and that's a bunch
yeah,
of
I've
those
already done all
upgrades.
that, thankfully.
Right.
I've been doing way more seasonal challenge than I traditionally would. You'd be proud of me.
Yeah.
Just because I'm seeking out those reputation coins. Just like, give me that.
Yeah. But yeah.
But yeah, I think for me it'll be doable. So like, for you, yeah, maybe. You usually beat me to the stuff. This is the first time I've cared about a season title. So.
Yeah, well, I'm like, and I've said this before, I'm at this point where I forget when I started doing this, but I think after the first time I got a seasonal seal, and then I got the second one, I was like, oh, these are actually pretty achievable. And then I've got every one since. And that might have been like from Arrivals on or the season after.
Just have to not get distracted.
Basically. It's also just like taking a look at what the seal requires early and then just like roughly mapping out the things that are going to be annoying and trying to make sure that I'm chipping away at that every week. So that I don't get to the end and being like, oh, I need to run like 300 catch crasses to get this done.
That's more or less what I did this season, kind of instinctively. Was like, I looked at everything and I was like, okay, well, the thing I'm going to prioritize this week is getting enough reputation coins to bulk up so I can actually start summoning first mates.
Yeah.
And then just start doing that. And then the other night I couldn't sleep, so I just knocked out the story and then I just sat there and ran expeditions until I started to get tired. Yeah, we'll get there. We'll be scallywags before you know it.
About to say the same damn thing. The whole dang group of scallywags just slumming it up together.
We'll all get our scallywags title, and then we'll all put our Hawaiian shirt shader on, and then we'll do a raid, but we'll call it Lads Weekend.
That's pretty good. Like bachelor trip, bachelor party. Speaking of lads trips, quick, I don't know, update. We're not going to be here next week because you and I are both
lads
going to both be at PAX Australia. Not as like any kind of content creator hookup.
It kind of sounded like an announcement.
No,
like,
we're gonna be at the show for other reasons.
All three of you.
Hey man,
come say hi.
There's a few more than that in the subscriber list. But yeah, we'll be around in some capacity. But yeah, so we're not going to be able to put out an episode because that's literally when the show is like our recording and release schedule is all right in the middle of that.
Yeah, and it's not even like one of those things where we could record in person and then put an ep up.
No,
because there's no time to edit. We are literally working, so like.
Yes, we are.
And then when we're not working, I would rather be drinking. So
and hanging out with friends, and that's what it's all about.
Getting cool food, seeing cool places. I want to go to the aquarium.
That's right next to where the show is, so doable.
I love the aquarium.
I've been there once. It was all right.
I go every time I go down to Victoria, I'll go aquarium, even if I have to go by myself.
Yeah, I mean, the fish don't care.
Sit in the penguin exhibit, have an existential crisis in the tube. No one look at me.
I know the tube.
2019, very distressed to find they got rid of the crab exhibit.
No. How did they not tell you? That's your people.
They had king crabs there and everything.
Damn it.
Very rude that they got rid of it.
That's your whole thing is king crab.
Eat my legs.
But yeah, we might try and like, I don't know, record a little something that we can put out on the YouTube thingo. it will definitely not be a full episode. It might be like, here's 2 minutes of us on the show floor yelling about a beer that we drank somewhere. I don't know what's going to happen.
Yeah.
It's going to be a time.
Maybe with consent, the viewers will finally be able to see Alex and Grimes, the men we keep referring to.
Interesting.
The mystery men.
Our side pieces.
Yeah.
The mystery man is also quite good.
The side character.
Well, I'll show you this. Some things that I picked up this week. Little wireless microphones. So I'm going to bring this camera with me, and these microphones will hook into the camera. So we'll get some nice juicy audio and video stuff going on. We could literally interview Gramps and Alex. Hold them up.
Drunk, screaming about how all the characters I want to throw it back for.
If we're at the point of committing to getting drunk, I'm leaving this equipment at home. Do not think I'm bringing this stuff out with me. I'm not that committed to the YouTube life. I need some time where I just am allowed to get drunk and listen to Jimmy Buffett songs.
Last weekend.
Yes.
No, I'm excited because it'll be, just for context for people who don't know, other than one other person in our core fire team, I'm the only one who doesn't live in this the same state as everyone else. So these fuckers get to hang out all the time and do cool shit like play Magic and drink beer and eat pies to win paddles and cool shit like that.
Uh-huh.
And I just sit here the nights that they're out and I sit here and I play Destiny by myself.
And we're going to fix all that
and watch Doctor Strange over and over again.
Fix all that for a week and then you go back home.
Yeah, and then you guys are home for what is it, a fortnight, and then you can come and visit me.
Yeah, it's what?
2 weeks, more or less? A month?
No, it's a month. Yeah, then we come up and we go see Enter Shikari and it's gonna be fucking sick.
It's gonna be another lads weekend.
Yeah, legitimately, because 3 of us lads are traveling up to Brisbane to go see this show. It's gonna be great.
I love that PAX is a boys' weekend. That's a chill, just everyone drinking, hanging out. But then when you guys come up here, it's going to be a hooligan style lads weekend where it's just going to be hooliganism basically, because that's what an Enter Shikari show is.
True.
It's just political hooliganism.
Yeah, we 100% should book in to get dinner at the venue where the show is, and then pre-drinks are mere meters away from the show, and that's so good.
The beer garden is more or less next to the venue doors.
Yes. That's my shit. That's great.
Yeah. That's my shit.
That's my shit.
I'm gonna use my work pay from this weekend to buy merch.
Yes.
Fucking mint.
It's gonna be pretty good.
I'm sad that there's no Destiny content this year at PAX, because in 2019 there was a panel from memory.
Was there?
Yeah, and then there was Xbox had some Destiny 2 stuff at their booth.
I don't remember what that panel was. I know that there's a couple of different fan and community events, I think before the show or maybe even during.
There's
one the night before
Saturday,
the show, and one on Saturday.
The night before the show is invite only, so I think it's more of an industry creator thing. You had to win passes to that.
Oh.
And then I haven't checked my email because I applied.
Okay.
And then there is a community held event on the Saturday. So if you're going to PAX and you're listening to this, you might want to turn up to that. It's called Ghost or something.
Yeah, it's
and
an
it's
acronym
basically
for, I think, Guardians hosting offline social things.
Yeah.
It's pretty good.
It's just basically beers at a venue behind PAX. And I already know a whole bunch of people who have asked me if I'm going.
Maybe we go.
RSVP for dinner or just rock up after dinner and just come mingle.
Yeah, maybe we finish the stuff we have to on Saturday. Maybe we go.
Maybe we go. What are you doing like my mum?
Maybe I turn up in a raid jacket and a bunch of raid rings and just flex on a bunch of fools.
Talking like my mum.
Was it?
Maybe we go.
Maybe we go.
Maybe we go.
I'm trying to think. I don't know if I could wear all of the raid rings. No, I could.
Yeah, it's 3.
Yeah,
Two.
there's a Sunset Slam
Sunset Slam,
Vault.
Vogue.
That's it. Like the King's Fall one is nowhere near getting here in time.
VOD didn't get a ring.
No.
Remember, it
No,
was just
there's
the
a
yucky
pin.
brown jacket.
There's a pin.
Brown jacket.
But no, I think like the Voltaglass
and
ring.
Oryx won't be here till probably next year.
Yeah, Voltaglass ring fits on one of these two fingers. The Sunset Slam fits on this finger. Yeah, I can get them all on.
If I'm drinking, I'm going to be very nervous to wear my Sunset Slam on.
Yeah, so I have weird knuckles and they're wider than where the ring sits, so they can very easily fall off depending on which finger it's on. And that one,
I'm worried about getting the sword caught.
Yeah, that's also a big concern, like putting a hand in a pocket and bending the shit out of it.
Yeah. I might assess. I will definitely be wearing my Vogue one because I love my Vogue ring.
That thing is beefy.
I think it looks like a, you know how in America they get like year rings, class of rings, and then also like Super Bowl rings.
Yeah, that
it has that energy.
Like, yeah, it's more like a championship sports ring.
Yeah,
it's so.
And then the
so
fact it says Guardians, make their own fate on the inside, and I think that's really kind of like touching.
Yeah, I also think it's kind of funny that the King's Fall one says "Long live the King" on the inside of it, and now we have a king. So like, fuck yeah, Commonwealth, I guess. King Chucky. King Charlie.
Good old King Ches.
Chaz.
Yeah. That's why they're called Ches and Chucky, because they're both called Charles.
Incredible.
Didn't you know that?
No, I didn't, actually. But yes.
Rugrats Law. This is now Rugrats Law podcast.
PAX, Saturday night. There's some community event. We might be there. I will see how I go, honestly.
Yeah.
But it's to be fair, it is looking like the weather is going to be fucking ass. So maybe it's cold and wet enough to wear a big fucking Deep Stone Crypt raid jacket.
Yeah. New rule. If you see me at any event, including PAX, I will only react if you come up to me and you say, Meckii, yes? And I'll be like, we're friends.
Yes.
Yes. That's how I will be addressed moving forward. Meckii, yes?
Yes, good. Good. What else? What else is going on?
There wasn't a lot. You shared a very touching video though, because we do love talking about wholesome community stuff, and you shared that, and my heart went bump and grew two sizes.
So I've been a long time fan of Amaze and Steve Saylor, both of which featured in like Bungie's Heroes Welcome video packages in recent weeks and months.
And then like Gamer Girl Grey.
Yes. I mean, that was a retweet of a video that I think Amaze had shared. I don't know where it came from.
I keep forgetting Steve's co-host and his assistant. I keep forgetting his name. I think it's T or something, Dr. T or something like that. T. But yeah.
Yeah, it's just a super sweet video. So like Amaze he's been doing this for a while now, like just public posts about, hey, I will help you do raids. I don't give a fuck who you are. Get up in this Discord. I will help you get through. And he's genuinely very patient and helpful. And obviously, like, being the way he is and what he does, good with the vibes for it. But this video is like, so there's, Amaze, Gamer Girl Grey's in there, Steve Saylor, and I guess like people from Steve Saylor's crew. They have just finished a King's Fall raid, and this video is essentially like Steve Saylor gushing about how much this means to him, and is just the sweetest fucking thing, because like Amaze's persona is very much like, hyping up the homies, like big hype man, let's get some energy in here. And he's just totally in his shell because he's like just being paid the nicest compliments. Like, it's the sweetest fucking video.
I think, it must be for him because he is constantly gassing up everyone else, that when someone turns around and gasses him up, he probably feels very like, oh, no, this is my job.
Yeah, but Steve is also just like one of the most genuine people.
He's so sweet.
It's just like speaking, real heart to heart kind of vibes. It's very nice to see, because like raids are always especially for the first when you're doing it for the first time, like a pretty momentous occasion. Like there's a lot of stress, there's a lot of effort, a lot of time usually, and you'll always remember your first one, right? And
Yeah.
this was kind of the same, like similar vibe for me with King's Fall. Is like Taken King is when I started playing Destiny. I got that legendary edition that packaged D1 and Taken King, and got that limited edition PS4 that like had the gold print on the front of it, and
I still have mine.
yeah, I've still got mine. I'm going to put it on a shelf somewhere. But like that's when I started, and then saw raids coming out, and I'm like, I am basically playing the solo. I'm never going to get to do this yet. And now King's Fall comes out, and I have a crew, and I have people with me that have done King's Fall before in D1, and we're able to go do it. And like, yeah, it took us 8.5 hours. I don't give a fuck. I remember a lot of very good and cool moments from that experience. And the same is true of first time Deepstone, first clear for Val, the first time we finally got through Garden of Salvation, right? Like we had a few cracks at that because that boss fight is a shit. And we were also trying to get Divinity. So every time we had to load back in, we had to go back and do all the puzzles and all that shit. Yeah.
First time VOD. VOD took us a few cracks too.
Yes. Yes, because those damage checks were pretty brutal.
Also, like during the pandemic, Sunset Slam. I have a lot of very fond memories
just
from the Sunset
constantly
Slam.
running those fucking raids. Like we were doing at least one a week.
I think we were doing pretty much towards the end. We were doing one every night because
Just
it became oh shit, yeah, I want the ring. So we're like, okay, let's go in and do it.
Also, half of them were those raid layers, and they take like maybe an hour. It was so fast.
And then it's like, which raids have you done? Which raids haven't you done? Let's set up a plan.
Yeah, let's make a
spreadsheet.
sheet.
We'd all been stood down and in between jobs, and so
I was like living alone at the time, working from home, and like we had 5-kilometer lockdown radiuses, and I was like, yeah, I'm just gonna be at home basically every night by myself. Let's fucking run raids, and that's how I got. That's how I got.
Scream.
That's how I got pretty good at like doing Sherpas and teaching people raid mechanics and explaining things and explaining logic behind it. So it's not just like, here's how we do it. It's like, here's why we do it this way. But if you've got a better idea, tell me, and we can work out a better way that we will now do it. So it's not just like hey, this is the way I do it. This is the way we're going to do it now.
Sunset Slam's where I learned that I'm an empath.
Don't do that.
I can sense that the group is getting very tense right now.
No, you were feeling tense yourself, and you're like, I'm pretty sure everyone else is the same. Let's deal with this.
I think everyone needs to get up, have some water, go to the bathroom, stretch their legs. I've actually needed to pee for like 10 minutes.
There it is.
It's not a raid if I don't go to the bathroom at least 4 times during it.
Yes. But yeah, I like, if you're into community stuff, I'd highly recommend looking up. The easiest way to find it, because this is the only thing I've got in front of me, is to go find Gamer Girl Grey on Twitter. Should be relatively close to one of their most recent tweets. Yeah, it's like a retweet of a video. It's hard to figure out the best way to refer to that.
Follow everyone involved because they're all fantastic.
Yeah, just good energy.
Yeah, I love stuff like that.
Yeah.
So good.
Yeah, not much will like set me off in the same way that like somebody genuinely gushing about a first time raid experience does, because I've been there and I super duper get it. And like we had that a little bit with like that first King's Fall clear that we did in the D2 version, because one of the guys in the crew like had done it in D1, but obviously it's been like, I think it was 6 years. He was the guy who ended up like clutching it, being like, I'm just going to delay me leaving the house so that we can get this one last attempt in, and that's how we got it, right? But like it was clear that it meant a lot to him, and he was also the only one to drop Touch of Malice on that first run, and so like everything came together in that moment for him individually, but also the group. And then the second,
Yeah.
and then his fucking second run, he gets another touch of malice. So also fuck that guy.
No, it was it was one of those moments where like we got it done and we're all just so relieved because we'd been at it for almost 9 hours.
Correct.
And then it was just like we were all just so excited to get it done, and then he'd done what he had, and then just hearing him start to scream, just like, whoa, piss engram.
Yeah. Yes. And like,
because I feel like that entire run we spent 8 hours with him, and we hadn't had a lot to do with him previously. We'd only really done DSC. So he kind of got indoctrinated into the dynamic a little bit.
Spending 9 hours straight with a group of people will kind of do that to you.
So like by the end, he was like vibing on the jokes and joining in like our like in talk and our in jokes and our lingo that we like to use. And it was just like, so when he dropped it, everyone was happy for him. Like we were all like, "Ha, fuck you," but also yes, hell yes.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that stuff is... That to me is the pinnacle of the game, right? It's not whatever end game content you want to chase. It's not whatever rewards that getting to the lighthouse gets you, whatever, right? It's you get a group of people together, you do something really tough, and you get it done. You commit to doing a thing. Yeah, sure, maybe 9 hours is ridiculous, but like we committed to it, we were chipping away at it, and we got there.
Yeah.
And then you get that reward at the end of everybody is just having a sick time.
Yeah. For me, it's like it's raids, but then on top of it, it's new content too.
Yes,
that first especially new expansions. That especially like it's like new season, first couple of days of new season, always great. But I feel like new expansions is like that times 100, where we're all getting up at fuck off o'clock to play the new expansion, and then we're on together for hours.
Yeah.
Dinner break, running stuff together, like talking about the story. Like that's another thing. It's like it's raids and then that as well.
Yeah,
just
so
those moments.
I think the last few expansions, I can't remember if we did it for Shadowkeep, but definitely for Beyond Light and for Witch Queen, there's at least like 2 or 3 of us that would actively take time off work to like be there for that first week and just like dive all the way into the shit. Like, the game's a little broken at that stage, but you're just like kind of hanging out, doing shit with your friends. And that's cool.
That's neat.
Yeah.
You can tell it's neat because of the way it is.
Uh-huh. I don't really have anything else for this week other than just ending on good vibes.
We're in that like that period of like the middle of the season where there's like 1 or 2 weeks where it's kind of quiet.
Oh, we're not even there yet. There's still story stuff to come.
But you know what I mean? Like and then it ramps back up and then it quiets out after the story. But we won't have to worry about that because we've got Festival of the Lost to fill that gap. Gundam time.
Cannot wait to put on stupid masks and do whatever we're doing.
I'm so excited to become Meckii the Mech or Mecha. No, we know someone by that name. Never mind. But spelt Mecha.
Yes.
Mecha. Mechii. Meckii.
Nice. Yeah. If only we could easily change our names in the game still. That would be a really good time to change it to that. Because also, an H and a K look pretty similar.
Yeah.
Everyone would not even notice. Maybe just do that in Discord. Just, here's my name for now. I'm
going to change it to a really strange blocky font so no one can tell.
Oh, what does like a Russian H look like? Or a Russian K? Do they look like each other? I don't know the Cyrillic font well enough. Okay.
No.
Anyway, we can go look at typefaces and letters that look like each other later.
I was going to type it in and now I'm thinking of the Crystalia skit. Where he's like, is backwards R. Fuck you. You can't tell, but we can. Looks like normal H is not normal H. Fuck you. What if we take N, flip it upside down?
That's a U, right?
An N, like a capital N.
Oh, yes, I know what you mean. I've seen those. They're around.
Fuck you, American beach.
Oops. And
Next week we're gonna tee it up with the
we're gonna
boys.
tee it up so hard. On that note, we're gonna tee it
Get
up.
cute with it.
We're gonna get cute with it and tee it up out of here. This has been another episode of Error Code Blueberry. My words are not, they're not coming out well.
Epicorn blueberry. We've got the juice.
We do have the juice, and we also have videos that you can watch that are not this one. They've come out before now. You can like them and this one and subscribe to the channel. You can do all the things because it's YouTube and it's been around for fucking ages. You know how this works. Just push the buttons, maybe. I'm not your dad.
I'm going to start teaching myself how to make YouTube shorts.
Cool. Mostly, they stop at the knees.
Oh. YouTube partnership shorts. Just cut up the tracky dacks that they gave people last year.
YouTube jorts. We're going to be at PAX next week. We'll see you in 2 weeks. I'm going to cut us off there before I say dumb stuff more than I already have. Bye.
Bye.